Will the authors object to the amendment? The amendment here is no amendment adopted.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. King. And so again,
Ms. Thompson, for what purpose?
Parliamentary inquiry.
Please state your inquiry.
Was that an amendment accepted by the House for Mr. Slayton?
That is correct.
God bless America.
Members, you heard the motion. This motion requires a record vote. The clerk will ring the bell. The clerk will ring the bell.
What did we just do?
Ding, 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 ding. The chair recognizes Mr. Murr for a motion.
Everybody ready to sign it, aye? Okay. No, I'm kidding. I'm only kidding.
The chair lays out on third reading, HB 21.
HB
Clerk will read the bill. Sorry, clerk will read the bill.
HB 21 by Niave relating to
Lawson voting aye, Ms. Hull voting aye, Ms. Swanson voting aye, Mr. Leach voting aye, Ms. Johnson of Dallas County voting aye, Dr. Oliverson voting aye, Ms. Morales voting aye, so Mr. Kaysen voting aye. Members, you have voting devices on your desk. You're welcome to use them.
I move passage.
The chair recognizes Mr. Kaysen to speak against the bill.
What? Yep. Members, I really wish I didn't have to get up and speak against this bill. You don't. Chairman.
The chair recognizes Mr. Parker to explain the bill. I'm sorry, Mr. King of Parker to explain the bill.
HB 361 by King of Parker relating to chilled water service and district cooling systems.
The chair recognizes Mr. Parker to explain the bill.
That's 5 times.
The chair recognizes Mr. King of Parker to explain the bill.
Thank you. Only 22 years here, that's okay.
Move back, members. Apparently, this is a camping ban that has nothing to do with Roe v. Wade. So I'm gonna pack it up and move passage.
Have all voted. There being 79 ayes and 56 nays, 78 ayes and 78 ayes and 56 nays. Thanks, Representative Krause. House Bill 3034 is finally passed.
And so, right, and that's assessed against the landlord, who obviously would carry that over to what he charges the charter.
But it's not profit for the.
But I will move, Mr. Speaker, I will move to postpone further consideration of House Bill 2261 until June 1st, 2022 at 10 a.m. Hopefully we'll be here for a special session.
The chair recognizes Mr. Johnson to explain the amendment.
Hello? Just want to make sure that everybody's listening.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker and members. This is a very important amendment. This legalizes marijuana. So I want to make sure you're listening, okay?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This amendment just ensures that the person who decides to be on the ballot is the correct person.
I dedicate this amendment to my good friend, Jonathan Stickland.
And I said, and she looked at me, bright eyes, and said, Mr. Mayor, you speak excellent Korean. For all that time, I thought I was speaking Mandarin.
Mr. Coleman, comes report to the district on the motion of Mr. Herrera to objection. Chair hears none, so ordered. That's number 3. The chair recognizes Mr. Krause to explain a trigger bill on camping or something like that.
HB 2802 by Dean, relating to the administration of public school assessment instruments and the temporary suspension of certain accountability determinations for public schools in a school year in which public school operations are disrupted as a result of a declared disaster, and the requirement to use those assessment instruments as a criterion for promotion or graduation of a public school student.
The chair recognizes Mr. Dean to explain the bill with the longest caption ever.
I am entirely confused by your question.
Mr. Speaker? Mr. Speaker?
Yes, sir.
I rise to, hey, just kidding. I would move that the comments between Mr. Cyrier and myself be reduced to writing, placed in the journal.
Mr. Speaker, I move to postpone further consideration of House Bill 573 until June 1st.
Members, you heard the motion. The objection, chair hears on this order.
The fact that it is only 11 o'clock in El Paso and we should be able to continue on El Paso bills.
Only for the
Not at this time.
parliamentarian is from El Paso, so only El Paso bills could be. And she's ready to take a nap. Mr. Dutton.
If you're for getting the federal government out of Texas, this is your resolution right here. Kyle, this is about as close you're going to get to independence, Texas independence, is with this resolution right here. Okay.
Members, please take your conversations to Williamson County.
Thank you.
It's a good place. It's a good place.
Chair recognizes Mr. Kane to explain HB 4669.
This bill does things. Move passage.
Members, you've heard the explanation of HB 4669.
And Mr. Speaker, I move adoption of the resolution.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Moody, for what purpose?
I want to thank Miguel Schofield for bringing this to the floor.
Relating to access to the financial responsibility verification program by justice and municipal courts. HB 2048, Kraus.
We're still paying Mr. Island for travel, and he's no longer a member of this House?
Well, apparently he wasn't paid back in 2011 for travel.
So the state of Texas is paying Craig Island a little over $200 for travel from 2011.
If we pass this bill.
So perhaps the advice is to the rest of these members, turn your travel documents in on time and get paid on time.
Placed in the journal.
Members have heard the motion. Objection, chair hears none, so ordered. Is Mr. Vo on the floor of the House? That's Mr. Wu. Is Mr. Vo on the floor of the House?
Mr. Speaker, members, this is a human trafficking bill that put parameters around schools so that these SOBs cannot be located within so many feet of. That's sexual-oriented businesses.
Members, get your head out of the gutter, please.
Control yourself, control yourself.
Ms. Goodwin, would you and Mr. Lamont stay far away from that microphone? I see you're both near the microphone. Please bring your point of order down front.
Mr. Speaker, I move to postpone further consideration of Senate Bill 566 until May 18th, 2022, for Representative Goodwin's next birthday. Thank you.
Members, Lamont, for what purpose?
I raise a point of order against further consideration of this under rule. I apologize. Have you laid out the amendment yet? I want to make sure. Okay, I'll wait until the amendment.
There is no amendment on this bill, Mr. Lamont.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Members, first I want to pause and wish my son Sam a happy 20th birthday. There's no more teenagers in the Shaheen household. Yeah, I love you too, Sam. All right, members.
Mr. Speaker, move passage. Mr. Speaker, move passage.
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. King, if that bill for what purpose?
Parliamentary inquiry.
State your inquiry.
Is the chair advised, did anybody listen to my prayer this morning?
I did.
And this is her local bill?
I'm not advised if she represents Hayes County or not.
Okay. Mr. Speaker,
Mr. Canales, for what purpose?
I rise on the point that I believe that Chairman King's got a good bill.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Speaker, there are apparently being not 5 signatures against this bill. I move passage.
Members, Chair recognizes Ms. Button to explain SB 2180.
Members, SB 2181 will help improve Dallas's Field Park. Big Tex and I move passage.
Members, you've heard the explanation of SB 2181. Is there objection? Consideration? Chair is none.
Mr. Speaker.
Ms. Tranchia, for what purpose?
Will the cowgirl yield?
Have a wonderful day.